it's Hermitcraft time. Oh my goodness. I'd forgotten how disgusting that thing behind me looked without the diamond mustache. We're definitely going to have to remove that thing. But more importantly, this situation is not good. It's not good. It's really not good. It's just a horrible look for me. And Iskall is just as disgusting. He has a mustache, he has really tiny eyes. I mean, I know my skin has tiny eyes, but they look exceptionally tiny on Iskall's face. So he looks horrible, and then he still has my mustache, but then he has a little goatee. I mean, it's not good for anyone to be looking at. So in today's episode, I'm going to try my best to build a machine that hopefully rectifies this situation, because otherwise I'm going to spend the rest of my life like this, and that's really not good news. Now, in terms of the way that we actually build this thing, I am really not sure how you would do. I'm going to call it a parts unjumbler. I think a parts unjumbler is the machine that we're going for here, and I have no idea how it's actually going to function. Okay, the saturator kind of made sense to me. The de-saturator kind of also made sense to me. It's just this could be tough. Where have all my ender chests and things gone? I had a bunch of good stuff there, and now it's all gone. And I think the problem is I store all of my extra ender chests actually in the ender chest, which is probably not smart. I just tried to sleep, and it said that I couldn't because there was monsters nearby, and I think I found the final raider. Nice. Does this mean... Oh, there's going to be another wave now, isn't there? That doesn't stop anything. Weirdly enough, there wasn't. Can anyone explain to me the raid mechanics so that I can understand why there wasn't another wave? Anyway, I thought we'd pop into the redstone testing world to quickly work out some rough ideas for how we're going to do this build. I mean, there's all sorts of things. Oh gosh, it's horrible. We need to sort this, whatever happens. After around about 45 minutes of head scratching, this is what I've come up with. Now, I haven't connected up any of the redstone, but I've made sure that it is actually possible. This thing will function. And I think it's going to look really, really cool. I mean, it's already quite a cool looking structure, and it's going to look even cooler when it actually starts working. So I guess now we have to pop over to the shopping district in the new area, and we can start constructing it. I'm incredibly proud of Grian for actually managing to fix this thing up. Like, he fixed up the broken machine, actually managed to get the TNT duplicator in place, and actually managed to make it work, I assume. I mean, I'm assuming it's working. I'm a bit scared to turn it on, actually. Wow! It costs 20 diamonds to use the desaturator. I totally should have charged for my saturator. I mean, I know it's broken people's skins, but still, I did this for free as like a service to the Hermitcraft community. The guy that just won 1,000 diamonds from Demise is charging 20 per use. But you know what? That actually makes me think. There is only one person who needs to use my skin unjumbler, but he does have 1,000 diamonds. We know he has 1,000 diamonds, and he's also charging 20 diamonds for his desaturator, and we know that he needs his skin to be unjumbled. We could totally charge. We can charge whatever we want. You know, the most annoying thing about building in this area is the fact that if you haven't brought something, which I need white concrete and I also need green terracotta, if you haven't brought those things, then you know that it's going to take at least 2 minutes to get back to your base to find it, and then 2 minutes to come back. Now, that doesn't sound like much, but if you do that, say 15, maybe 20 times throughout the building process, it really starts adding up a lot of time. Anyway, that's enough complaining. I feel like I should actually explain what this build is going to do, because so far you've just kind of seen this odd looking construction in my redstone testing world that didn't make a whole lot of sense. And you can see we've got a bunch of pistons going on down here. I mean, it looks a bit weird. And the idea is that this is going to be like a visual representation of what is happening to the player's skin. Okay, so you can see we've got some legs, so that's an arm, there's going to be another arm, there's going to be the body, and then there's going to be the head, and the player, aka me or Iskall, is going to stand in this zone right here. We're going to potentially be surrounded by glass, maybe even we have like a window looking up at this thing, and we're going to watch as this skin gets unjumbled. So right now it's actually in a semi-unjumbled state because we want the whole thing to be green, but in the jumbled state, one of the arms is going to be pink, the head's going to be red, like all that sort of thing, and then gradually it's going to sort itself out, and that's how we know that the skin unjumbling has been completed, and we're back to not looking like this because I really don't want to look like this anymore. I hope that made sense. I think that made sense. I'm fairly certain that made sense. Right, so our guy is almost fully constructed and he should be looking quite cool. Nice. Okay, this is actually quite a big build for this area here, but that is looking good. I think I've got about half of the piston feed tapes because the way that it's going to unjumble itself, in case it wasn't clear, is using piston feed tapes. So you're going to watch as the arms kind of gradually shift into being the correct ones. It should be a really cool looking redstone build, I hope. But with that being said, I've got to say, it is quite difficult to get this many piston feed tapes all into one place. I have a bow now. Have you not heard? I'm now like a... Oh, no, oh my goodness. You know what? Maybe I'll be better off not having a bow. Our structure is complete. I am very happy that I went for this size. Originally, when I first started building it in the redstone testing world, I did 1 block for every single pixel of the skin. So I guess the head would be 8 blocks across. It would be an 8x8 square. All of the legs were, I think, 12x4 or 13x4. It was absolutely enormous. And it looked totally ridiculous. So this is considerably better. You know, it's funny. Some builds look very cool when they're really big, whereas some other builds, they start to look worse the bigger you go. And that was one of those builds that started to look a lot worse. What have I just done to Iskall's door? I haven't seen that sort of thing in ages. I've opened the bottom half of Iskall's door. I feel like, right, I'm going to break that. That door is now going to stay like that forever. I'm sorry. Iskall's, does he still have villagers in here? Nope, they've escaped or died. So that means that I can actually leave this as something strange that has occurred. Right, so with the actual build completed, now it's time to start work on the redstone. And I've just realized this is actually going to be a little bit more tricky than I first imagined, because all of the piston feed tapes have a different number of blocks that they need to push. So these ones... I guess both the arms and the legs should be the same. Okay, so that's 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so they can all be run on the same pulse extender. Then I guess the head is the only one that is slightly different. Things are going pretty well, though, in that I'm fairly certain... So when I say they can all be run on the same circuit, what I'm hoping is they can actually all be just one circuit. Because the way that these piston feed tapes work is that every single part of the piston feed tape is these side pistons that have to be powered first. I'm second guessing. No. Okay, no, it's these side pistons that have to be powered last, it's these pistons that have to be powered first. Yeah, so throughout the whole machine, that is the case, which means that in theory, we can connect them all up and then do it all at the same time, and it shouldn't matter what direction the pistons are facing. I mean, I have all my fingers crossed right here, and all my toes and everything else that can be crossed. That place is not a good place to be at night. It gets totally infested. I just fell off the edge and then realised that there was about 8 zombies down there waiting for me. I've also realised that my idea of this being all one circuit is actually a little bit silly, because the redstone signal will have to travel at the same time. So up at the top of the contraption has to have exactly the same input time as the bottom of the contraption, and that just isn't going to really happen due to signal strength. I mean, it could happen, but I might as well just keep them all separate. So this is now a separate circuit, this is a separate circuit, this is a separate circuit, and then this top one is also going to be a separate circuit. Haven't finished building that one yet. It's been a while since I've done any semi-decently sized redstone project in survival Minecraft. It's fun. Multicolored redstone contraptions always look at least 10 times more complicated and more awesome than redstone contraptions where you've used only one color. Okay, if you want to make it look like you're good at redstone, this is the way to do it. Just to give you an update on the part of the circuitry I'm working on now, we need to create 6 pulses for this thing to go through, because the legs are 6 blocks long, so we need to rotate them around fully. And the way that we do that is something like this. So that means that this whole thing is actually going to happen really quickly. That is how fast this whole machine will swap out everything. It makes me think maybe we should do almost like the legs and then the arms and then the head, as opposed to all happening at once. That could look a tiny bit more dramatic, except I thought before even connecting these things up I should probably give it a test, and it broke, which isn't isn't exactly the best news, is it? Right, let's try it again with slightly rewired circuitry. What on earth is happening there? That's not good. Yeah, that's really not good. Turns out I had completely the wrong timings. It was all over the place, to be honest with you. Now it should all be working. That's more like it. I was going to say, I have probably built about 1,000 piston tapes in my time. I can't believe now I'm starting to not be able to do them. That looks hilarious, by the way. And now the arms should be fully functioning. Oof. That's not a good situation, and I know I don't know exactly why. Why has that not worked? That is bizarre. They should have worked. Pistons running into the... What is wrong with me today? I am fully lost on that. After doing a bunch of rewiring again, the whole thing is now fully functional. Let's just press the button, and everything now sorts itself out. Alright, we need to make the white concrete side of this thing now a lot more messed up. Better. Much, much better. So this clearly shows a kind of rough example of what exactly has happened to me. So when we hit the button now, everything will go green. We've got the all clear. Okay, now it's time to actually build up the structure out the front of this thing, which, to be honest with you, I have no idea. I mean, I could try and take some inspiration from this, what I did with the saturator, because I personally think this is quite a cool build. I mean, I guess it's just kind of all atmospheric stuff, I suppose. I think I'm actually going to go for a fairly simple approach on this one. So I would say, honestly, something like this. You know, I know white concrete and cyan terracotta has kind of been a theme for pretty much all of my builds this season. And there's a reason for it. It's like the perfect combination of blocks. It's like they just look good. It's just such a nice looking block palette. I don't know how I'm going to wean myself off of it. Right, so in the middle of this little courtyard that I've created here, this is where the player is actually going to stand. And obviously, just like all of the other machines that we've done, the saturator, and well, the de-saturator and also the saturator, there needs to be some form of redstone lamp animation element and also probably some musical element as well. And the way that I'm going to do this, I think it should actually be as simple as just running some repeaters around like that. Now, I think I'm just going to make it do one cycle. That seems like a good idea to me, so it'll do one cycle of the redstone lamps, and then you'll be able to tell that your skin is all fully unjumbled. Which, by the way, has quickly become one of my favourite words. It's just brilliant. I've said this every single episode that I've done since I did my shulker box thing, my ender chest thing. Why did I not do it sooner? I know I should have listened to Iskall, because Iskall used to blast me to no end for the fact that I didn't carry an ender chest and my ender chest was just full of junk. Look at this. Look how many times I've had to use things from my ender chest in this episode. These are all times that I would have had to go all the way back to my base to pick up something to then come back. This is like an hour saved. I don't know if this is good or bad. Ready? I'm a bit confused as to why there's now 2 pulses. Oh, it's because that is getting powered, so it's sending... Oh, I see. So if we just... Okay, it didn't seem to make any sense to me. Alright, if we now do something like that... Yeah, I'm going to use emerald blocks for that, for my redstone, because I'm rich. Now this should sound a little bit better. Cool. Okay, the only thing that we do need to do is we will need to add some notes to these first 2. I know I'm being really cheap here, okay, but, you know, no one else is going to use the saturator, are they? And I'm feeling a little bit too lazy to go back Get another leg turn and book and quill. And you know what's really embarrassing about this? Is that you may notice I haven't signed this book. It's because at the time... I'm embarrassed to say it. I really am a sloth. At the time of writing up the book for this thing, I thought to myself that in the near future, okay, if I'm doing another build in this area at all, the one thing that I never seem to have on me is the stuff to get a book and quill. So if I just leave this book unsigned, then I'll be able to go back, delete what the book said, and start again. If anything, I would say actually I'm smart, okay? I'd say that's... No, it's really lazy. Let me know down in the comment section, alright? Is that super lazy and should I be embarrassed about it? Or is that actually being intelligent? You know, I'm kind of leaning on the intelligent fence. Anyway, now the book is all fully written up. Just going to place these chests on either side like this. Button is there, and if we just give it a read, it kind of explains how everything works. So, to anyone who has run into issues with their skin, this machine is for you. It will unjumble any player who walks into it, fixing their skin and returning it to normal. Important, do not use the skin unjumbler if your skin is not jumbled. That's very important. I don't know what will happen if they do. When you press the button, stand within the lamps. The animated diagram should transition from a jumbled multicolored mess to all green, marking that the process is complete. Before you leave, please reset the machine by pressing the button again. Make sure you stay outside of the lamps, otherwise I honestly don't know what will happen. Oh, and by the way, this cost 20 diamonds. Put them in the chest. Thank you. Cool. I think that is everything that anyone needs to know about this machine right here. I think I might actually be ready to use it and get rid of this horrendous mess that is my face and body. Okay, but I am going to take it in one more time, just because in a way it is glorious quite how horrible it is. I think the thing that unsettles me the most is honestly the colour of the lips. Iskall has some seriously red lips. What is that? They're by far the most saturated thing on my face. Oh. Anyway, let's get this show on the road, shall we? So here goes. My skin. My disgusting skin will be no more. It almost seems a shame. That's so cool, though. I mean, seriously, this is a sweet contraption. And it's all worked. I'm back to normal. I'm back. The skin unjumbler has functioned. And I am back to looking a handsome devil. Oh my goodness, I'd forgotten how good looking I was. Look at me. My mouth is back to be fair, I think it might be my mouth that's a weird colour. Now that I think about it, Iskall's colour of lips is definitely more natural than my colour of lips, or lack thereof. But still, I'm back. My arms and legs, they all seem okay. Everything is looking glorious. It's just Iskall who's ugly. And to be honest with you, even when he uses the skin unjumbler, he's going to continue being the ugly one of the server. Right, let's hit this button and be very careful that we don't walk within that area there, because that could be bad news. But now the skin unjumbler has been reset, so now Iskall can come by and he can reset his skin. But as I say, not going to make much difference to his looks, really. In fact, you know what? I do feel like we should make him aware that the skin unjumbler is all completed. So let me just refill my shulker box or my ender chest here with all of the shulker boxes. In fact, I should probably refill my shulker boxes and then put them into the ender chest, and also make sure that I don't leave them lying around to despawn, because that would be a very typical thing for me to do. It has been absolutely ages since I've been over here. And wow, this place really has expanded. Now, I know that Iskall has about 14 bases, and I'm going to assume that this is the one that he's still currently working on. I love this idea of the pin drops. That is super cool. The little body on that witch is very entertaining. So I guess bobbleheads are the new Bumbos then. We're going to see these popping up all over the place. I'm kind of envious that I don't actually have a Bumbo bobblehead or something along those lines. You know, I'm a little bit upset about that, I'll be honest. Is this too mean? I mean, just for the record, I don't actually think that Iskall is ugly, both in person and also in Minecraft. I don't actually think there is such thing as like an ugly Minecraft skin, to be honest with you. But now you know what? I'm going to keep it. We're good friends. He'll understand. So there we have it, ladies and gents. That wraps up today's episode on the Hermitcraft server. It's been a ton of fun to record, actually. I've really enjoyed working on this one. It's been fun just working on a redstone project. It's been pretty sweet. Anyway, I really do hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya. And now, time for the outro. The 20 seconds of the video where I just get to talk about nonsense. You know, I genuinely... People ask me if I'm going to get outro music ever again. No, I love doing this. I find it fun, especially because I get to promote the filming channel. Yeah, you can check that out. Link will be right there. Just give it a click. Don't go with the recommended. Okay, it's boring. This is it.